I used to wake up every morning feeling like I was drowning before the day even started, anxious, overwhelmed, and completely drained by noon until I discovered these six scientifically proven morning habits that literally saved my life and business. Stay with me because the last one will blow your mind. Hi, I'm Eric Baykes, a former DevOps engineer, now turned life coach. I used to wake up at 6 a.m., immediately grab my phone, and start checking my Slack, reading WhatsApp messages and emails even before my feet hit the floor. Sound familiar? My brain felt like it was running background processes all day, scattered, depleted by noon, constantly in a reactive mode instead of strategic thinking. It felt as if there were hundreds of people talking in my head all the time. Everything changed when I discovered these six morning rituals backed by hard data. The most surprising one, which I will reveal at the end, seemed too basic to work, yet it has helped me transition from having a scattered mind to someone with profound clarity, allowing me to focus on things that matter most in my business and my personal life. These aren't just feel good practices. We are talking about measurable cognitive improvements, 15% increase in blood flow to your brain, 25% reduction in stress hormones, and 20% boost in working memory, all within minutes of practice. These are the little things we take for granted. What fascinates me most is how this method connects ancient wisdom with modern neuroscience. As software engineers, we optimize systems all day. Today, I'm showing you how to optimize the most important system you will ever work with, your mind. If you are ready to upgrade your mental operating system, let's dive in. Habit number one, stretching or yoga asanas, ancient key to modern cognitive performance. My day always begins with a practice of asanas. It is often recommended to prioritize your morning rituals before tackling anything else as they lay the foundation for a successful day ahead. I seek out my yoga companions and find a quiet, serene spot to settle in. I start stretching. Here is something most developers never consider. Your physical state directly impacts your cognitive abilities. You can have the cleanest code architecture in the world, but if your body is tense and restricted, your brain can't perform at peak capacity. Think about it. We spend 8 to 12 hours hunched over keyboards, creating physical tension that literally restricts blood flow to our brains. It's like trying to run high performance applications on a system with throttled resources. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Physical Activity and Health found that just 10 minutes of morning stretching increases blood flow to the brain by approximately 15%. That's measurable cognitive enhancement, not placebo effect. Dr. Sarah Lazar's research at Harvard Medical School using MRI scans shows that yoga practitioners have thicker prefrontal cortex regions, which are responsible for attention and sensory processing. Your brain literally adapts and strengthens in response to this practice. Here's what I do every morning. I perform 15 to 20 simple yoga poses that target the areas most affected by our desk-bound lifestyle, depending on the time I have available. Sun salutations to activate circulations, cat cow stretches to release spinal tension, and hip openers to counteract hours of sitting. A 20-minute session is ideal if time permits. By 9 a.m., my mind is running on optimized hardware instead of legacy systems. Problems that seem complex the night before suddenly have clear solutions. But the movement is just the foundation. There is something more fundamental that most of us completely ignore. And this will lead me to my second ritual. Habit number two, breathing exercises or pranayama, the invincible performance optimizer. As soon as I finish with my yoga practice, I transition directly into pranayama. I embrace this practice because it paves the way for the next step in my ritual. I take a seat, making sure my backbone is straight, focusing my mind on my breath and anchoring myself in the present moment, allowing my thoughts to settle and my mind to find tranquility. Your breath is the most underutilized debugging tool you have access to every single day. It is always running in the background, completely free, yet most developers never consider it as a resource for improving performance and mental clarity. Here is the thing. While we spend thousands on courses, certifications, and hardware upgrades, we completely ignore the built-in system that directly controls our nervous systems and stress response. It's like having root access to your autonomic functions, but never using it. The data is compelling. A 2020 meta-analysis in the journal Psychoneuroendocrinology found that controlled breathing exercises can reduce cortisol levels by up to 25% after just 5 minutes of practice. Studies using EEG monitoring have shown increased alpha brainwaves to be associated with creativity and problem solving. Stanford neuroscientist Dr. Huberman's research demonstrates that specific breathing patterns can shift your autonomic balance towards focus within minutes. Different techniques offer distinct benefits, such as alternate nostril breathing for stress reduction and box breathing for sustained attention. Ancient Sanskrit texts from 700 BCE describe pranayama as controlling life force. Our ancestors understood the connection between breath and mind thousands of years before we had neuroscience to prove it. My go-to technique is the 4-7-8 breathing. You inhale for 4 counts, hold for 7, and then exhale for 8. Just 3 cycles, and I can feel my nervous system shifting from reactive mode to strategic thinking mode. It is like switching from a raw code to a compiled one. Everything runs smoother and faster. This breath foundation opens the door to an even deeper level of mental optimization. I take at least 5 minutes and 10 minutes if I have the luxury of time. This brings our time for these two habits to 25 minutes. What is your biggest challenge maintaining morning focus? Drop it in the comment section below. I read every single one. Let's continue to the third ritual. Habit number 3, mindful meditation, the mental operating system upgrade. If breathing is the root access to your nervous system, meditation is the ultimate mental refactoring tool. Think of it as upgrading your mind's operating system to handle more complex processes with less consumption. Meditation has become a crucial and adaptable practice in my life. I draw upon various techniques suited to different facets of my life. But when it comes to morning rituals, transcendental meditation truly stands out for me. I'm excited to share a video about this transformative practice with you soon. The neuroscience behind meditation is becoming increasingly fascinating. Dr. Sarah Lazar's longitudinal studies at Massachusetts General Hospital have shown that just 8 weeks of daily meditation can increase cortical thickness in areas associated with attention and sensory processing. Your brain literally rewires itself for better performance. A 2018 study published in the Mindfulness Journal found that software engineers who practice meditation showed a 23% improvement in sustained attention and a 34% reduction in mind wandering during coding tasks. These aren't subjective feelings. These are measured cognitive improvements. Here's what meditation actually does at the neural level. It strengthens your prefrontal cortex, your brain's CEO, while calming the amygdala, your brain's alarm system. It's like optimizing your mental architecture for better resource allocation. I spent years thinking meditation was too woo-woo for me. Then I realized successful tech leaders like Mark Benioff, Jack Dorsey, and Jeff Weiner all credit meditation for their strategic thinking abilities. They are not seeking enlightenment, they are optimizing cognitive performance. My practice is simple: 20 minutes of self observation meditation. Right after my pranayama or breath work, I engage in my meditation. I sit comfortably, making sure that my backbone is straight, and I focus on my breath whilst I repeat my mantra in my head. If I'm distracted or my mind wanders around, I just bring it back and then focus on the mantra whilst I focus on my breath work as well. And so I do this for 20 minutes. And that is just pure transcendental meditation. This is the kind of meditation you do with a mantra. I will do another video and talk about this on a profound level. The results: instead of my mind running like spaghetti code with multiple nested loops, it operates more like plain, efficient algorithms. Problems become puzzles to solve rather than sources of stress. Now, as powerful as cultivating that inner stillness is, our bodies and minds also thrive in motion. Now, let's shift gears and talk about another incredibly impactful morning ritual, which is getting outside for a walk or going to jog. Habit number 4, walking or jogging in nature, the evolutionary reset button. I absolutely love this morning ritual because it transforms a simple walk into a morning meditation, engaging all the five senses simultaneously. As I move, I consciously connect to the sounds, the sights, smells, and sensations around me, grounding myself in the present moment and invigorating my entire being. Our cognitive architecture evolved over millions of years in natural environments, not in fluorescent lit offices. This creates a massive opportunity for developers who understand the importance of working with, not against our evolutionary programming. Research from the University of Michigan found that 20 minutes of walking in nature improves working memory by 20% and reduces mental fatigue significantly than urban walks. Dr. Mark Berman's attention's restoration theory explains why. Natural environments allow our directed attention to rest while still maintaining awareness. A 2019 study in Scientific Reports utilized EEG monitoring to demonstrate that exposure to nature increases alpha brainwave activity, which is associated with creative thinking and problem solving. Meanwhile, Japanese research on forest bathing has demonstrated a reduction of up to 16% in stress hormones and measurable drops in blood pressure. Think about the last time you solved a complex coding problem. I bet it wasn't while staring at your screen. It was probably during a walk, in the shower, or right before sleep when your mind had space to make new connections. Steve Jobs famously conducted walking meetings, understanding that movement and exposure to nature enhance creative thinking. Many breakthrough ideas at Apple came during those walks, not in conference rooms. My morning routine includes a 45-minute walk through the park near my home. No podcasts, no phone calls, no social media, just observing my environment. Some days, this is a perfect period for me to listen to a self help book. It's like running a background process that optimizes my mental state for the day ahead. This isn't about becoming a nature mystic. It's about recognizing that our brains function optimally when we respect their evolutionary design. We spend enormous effort optimizing our development environment while completely ignoring our mental environment. While engaging with the world through our senses during walks, it is incredibly powerful sometimes. The most profound shift happens with the simplest tools. And this brings me to what I consider one of the easiest yet most profound of all my rituals. Habit number 5, gratitude journaling. This is the neurochemical debugging tool. It is incredibly powerful, requires nothing special other than just a paper and a pen and a desire to write. Sometimes you don't even need a paper and a pen. It's all about what you can think, being grateful, talking about the gratitude you have for the food you have, for the things that you are calling into existence. And so it's just about your thoughts. The most important thing is to be grateful and putting yourself in that gratitude vibration. Here's a cognitive bias that has been sabotaging your performance, your brain's negativity bias. It's evolutionary programming that kept our ancestors alive by constantly scanning for threats, but now limits our ability to see opportunities and solutions. As developers, we are especially prone to this. We are trained to find bugs, identify edge cases, and anticipate failures. While this makes us great at our jobs, it can create a mental state where we are constantly in problem detection mode rather than solution creation mode. Dr. Robert Emon's research at the University of California, Davis, shows that gratitude journaling for just 2 minutes daily increases well-being scores by 25% over 6 months and correlates with reduced cortisol levels and increased serotonin production. This creates optimal brain chemistry for creative problem solving. A 2020 study in applied psychology found that employees who practice gratitude showed improved focus, better decision making, and increased resilience to workplace stress. For developers dealing with complex technical challenges, this translates to clearer thinking under pressure. Here's what I do every morning. I write down 3 specific things I'm grateful for related to my work and life. Not generic statements, but detailed observation. Instead of saying, I'm grateful for my house, I would rather reframe it as, I'm grateful for my beautiful home with a beautiful swimming pool, the lake view, nice neighborhood, those kind of stuff. You go into details, you make it emotional. That is what increases your vibration. Or you can write, instead of being negative about a situation, let's say you weren't selected for an interview, you can reframe this by saying, I'm grateful that interview didn't go well because that gave me an opportunity to land a bigger paying job. This is how you go about it. It is in those specific, often challenging moments where the real lessons and growth lie, and acknowledging them truly shifts my perspective. This practice rewires your brain's default scanning patterns. Instead of automatically focusing on what is broken or missing, you train your attention to notice what is working and what's possible. Always positive. Think positive. The most successful developers I know, those who transition into leadership roles or build their own companies, all share this ability to see opportunities where others only see problems. Gratitude practice is how you develop that mental muscle. I usually spend 10 to 15 minutes with a cup of tea doing this either before my morning walk or before I start my day in the office. But there is one final practice that might seem too simple to work, yet connects us to something we've almost completely lost in modern life. Hey guys, if you're finding value in these science-backed strategies, hit the like button and share with a developer friend who needs to optimize their mental performance. Remember, I promised you the most surprising ritual that seemed too simple to work. From cultivating internal gratitude, we now turn to something even more fundamental and almost forgotten: connection to the earth itself. This brings us to the final and perhaps the most unique morning ritual. Habit number 6: earthing or grounding, the forgotten biological connection. This final practice may sound unusual to many of you watching, but bear with me as the emerging research is fascinating. It's simply about direct physical contact with the natural ground beneath your feet. Now I know what you might be thinking, but wait and trust me. My neighbors initially thought it was a bit eccentric. During my morning walks, about a mile from home, I take off my shoes and I walk barefoot on the grass or on the concrete on the road. You should see the looks I get. Some brave souls even ask if I'm all right. But when I explain the why, their wows are immediate, and before long, I start seeing them doing it too. It's truly that impactful. If going barefoot in public feels like too much, your backyard or the local park would work wonders. Throughout human history until very recently, people maintain a regular electrical connection with the earth. Our ancestors walked barefoot, slept on natural surfaces, and remained in constant contact with the ground. Modern life has completely insulated us from this connection. Think about your typical day. Rubber-soled shoes, elevated homes, cars, and offices keep you perpetually disconnected from the electrical field. This separation disrupts our body's electrical systems in ways we are just beginning to understand through scientific research. 2012 study in the Journal of Environmental and Public Health found that grounding can reduce inflammation markers and improve sleep quality. Dr. James Oshman's research suggests that earth contact may help regulate our body's electrical systems, potentially reducing stress and improving recovery. Small pilot studies have reported reduction in cortisol levels and improvements in heart rate variability among people who practice regular grounding. While this research is still emerging, the preliminary data suggests that there may be measurable psychological benefits. Here's my simple practice. Each morning, about a mile home, which is about 10-15 minutes walk, I walk barefoot on natural ground, grass, soil, or stone. I use this time for quiet reflection, walking meditation, or combining it with my gratitude practice. Archaeological evidence suggests that many ancient healing practices across cultures involve direct contact with the earth. Our ancestors may have recognized something important that we've only recently begun to study scientifically. As developers, we live in increasingly digital environments. This practice reconnects us to the physical world in a way that may support our overall cognitive function and stress resilience. So, what is your implementation strategy? These 6 practices create a comprehensive framework for optimizing your cognitive performance as a developer. The research reveals cumulative benefits, including reduced stress hormones, improved focus, enhanced creativity, and better decision making throughout the day. However, the key is not to try implement everything at once. That's like trying to refactor an entire code base in one sprint. Start with 2 practices. I recommend breath work and nature walking. Build consistency over 2 weeks, then add another habit. The developers who consistently outperform their peers aren't just working harder or staying up later. They are using proven methods to optimize their most important tool, their minds. If you want the exact implementation guide I use, including specific techniques, timing sequence, and troubleshooting tips for each habit, I have created a detailed cheat sheet called the Developer's Morning Optimization Protocol. You can download it for free in the description below. If you're a software engineer who feels called to build something meaningful beyond just writing code, but you are stuck in analysis paralysis and overthinking mode, I'm offering a 1 hour strategic clarity session. I help analytical mind like yours bridge the gap between spiritual awakening and practical business success using structured, logical approaches. The link is in the description below. Your morning routine shapes everything that follows. Which specific practice will you commit to starting tomorrow? Let me know in the comment section below. If this video helped you think differently about optimizing your performance, like this video and share it with your network. Hit the subscribe button if you are not a subscriber yet for more content where ancient wisdom meets modern science tailored for developers and tech professionals. Thank you. Namaste.